Okay guys, you know it's time for the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth trailer has just released, and I just want to give you my overall thoughts and opinions and how I feel about it. And not only that, they have also gave us a release window when we'll be able to get our hands on this title. So before we dive into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, that notification bell for more gaming content here on this channel. So let's dive into it. Now, all I want to let you guys know is that I will be doing a multiple series of videos breaking down this trailer and just to get into the nook and cranny of things. But right now in this video, I just want to give you my overall thoughts and impressions of what I thought going into it, because just yesterday I did upload a video just going through what the developers were giving us hints about, more in particular of exploration and also possibility of having new stories being told in this game. And then we never really got a chance to touch bases on the other aspects, which was combat, but we did have a little bit of discussions in previous videos before that. So first, I just want to say this: my biggest I guess you say concern moving into this is how they were going to handle the open world when it comes to after the whole Midgard segment, because Final Fantasy VII Remake only stopped at Midgard. And those of you who played the original Final Fantasy VII know that Midgard is pretty much just a prelude, or it's just a prologue that leads into the actual game. Final Fantasy VII really doesn't start until you after the party leaves Midgard. So I was always wondering, how would they address this? Will they have an overworld? Will there be connected zones? How would they approach this? Now, the developers did say that they really liked how Guerrilla Games handled Horizon Zero Dawn, and they liked the open world that they had established with that game. So they already gave me somewhat of an idea of where they pretty much wanted to take this approach, but how well will they implement it, or will Square Enix add their own touches when it comes to the explorations? And then of course we have games from Monolith Soft, which is Xenoblade. They're notorious for their open worlds. So I was expecting, if they're not going to do an overworld, will they go on that scale? Now, telling by the trailer of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth 2023, I think my concerns can pretty much just rest aside or rest assured now, is because looking at the overworld, it does look massive in scale, and watching how big in the forest areas, and watching the party members come outside, and you can hear Aerith saying, wow, look at the land, it's so lush, it's so green. And despite, you know, the Mako draining the planet, it still seems like the planet is healthy, looking at all the terrain and everything. And I must say, man, looking at how open the world is, it kind of reminds me of some of the open zones that they had in Final Fantasy XIV. It just looked lush, it just looks beautiful. And I was able to pick up some familiar locations. So even though it looks, you know, big, it looks kind of brand new, unfamiliar, but there are some landmarks that she was able to pick up, which we was able to see Chocobo Bill's Chocobo Farm. And yes, you get to ride Chocobos, which is also pretty cool. And I noticed that there's a fourth party member. I'm not sure if that's a guest. I'm not sure how, you know, what's that all about, where you have 4 people riding on Chocobos opposed to just having 3 party members. But we'll probably get more ideas of that as, you know, we get closer to the release date of the game, of how the whole party mechanics work. But speaking of which, as far as locations, we also got a chance to see somewhat the Mithril Cavern, or the Mithril Mines, where we also get a glimpse of Elena, who's the new addition to the Turks team. So we have a chance to see her and everything, which I think is also pretty cool. Like her design, it's just everything about the characterizations of all the characters, man, just hit me with that nostalgia bomb. And that's the credit that I do want to give to Square Enix when it comes to the characterization. They nailed it. They've done a really good job bringing these characters to life into a new generation. Everything about this game looks gorgeous, and I can't wait to see how far the exploration is definitely going to go. Like how there's going to be a lot of quests. There's going to be a lot of nook and crannies as far as exploration is concerned, where we better find hidden materia, where we find, I guess, hidden chests that has items in it. And there's so many questions that I have, and I won't be able to fit all this in the video, but we're definitely going to move on from there. I think the next thing that I really want to touch bases on is the combat. I think the combat is what everybody wanted to know moving forward, is because the question that I had was, how would they approach the combat now that we have additional party members, and now that Cloud and their party aren't splitting up. Now they're together, because in Final Fantasy VII, when you have more than 3 party members, you have the system called the PHS that you use, which is like a cell phone that they have. So you better switch party members in and out, you know, if you was at a save point or if you were on the world map. Now, in this situation right here, we're not sure if there is a PHS system. We're not sure if all the party members are going to be on the field at once. We just want to wait and see. But by the looks of it, seeing all 4 party members riding the Chocobo, that could possibly be the case. But I wanted to look at the hints that was shown in the Final Fantasy Intermission DLC with Final Fantasy VII, when the Yuffie DLC, they introduced the whole tag or pairing linking system when it comes to the party members. Now, they did hint that there will be some new utilization and tools that you can use with your party members, where we see actual team up attacks between party members. You see Cloud and Barret team up, you see Yuffie and also Red 13 team up, you see Tifa and Cloud, or Tifa and Aerith do special attacks together, which I think is really cool. And I can imagine like what the combinations could possibly be, which means it's going to bring more versatility to the combat, to the gameplay, come up with different combinations. And the fact is that the developers are actually going in deep with this, and I just can't wait, and I can't imagine what the combinations and what else you can add to it. Now, the thing that I'm hoping to see as well is I'm hoping to see that linking system, the pairing system that the Yuffie DLC had introduced, and maybe they pretty much expand upon that, linking up the characters together. And if you have party members beyond 3 party members, it'd be cool that those party members you can't control and switch to, but you are able to link them to the characters, and they're paired with those characters, and you better switch them back and forth as long as they're paired and everything like that. And this is just a theory or something that I hope, or something close enough to that. I think that would be pretty cool. But overall, man, the combat looked flashy. It looks like we're getting a bit more of the same, but with some additional layer of depth, and I can't wait to see them actually do a breakdown of what more we can expect from the combat itself. Now, another question that I'm still curious about, we probably have to wait until, you know, later videos or trailers that they may have in the near future, is as far as the carrying over of data. Are we going to be able to carry data over from the first game and bring it over to the second game, or are we going to start from scratch? What about the weapons? What about the materia, the summons that you had earned in the first game? Will we have anything, any knowledge of, will they address that? You know, that's the thing that really got me. But as far as the story is concerned, and from what we've seen, and you guys already know my opinion and what I think about Final Fantasy VII Remake story, I'm not really too crazy about it. I'm not too crazy the direction that it's going, but it do have me in a sense curious, is because, you know, as I said in the previous video, what if this is all just a grift? What if this is all just a lie, and that the story is still going to, the events are still going to happen the way it's supposed to happen, that destiny and fate is aligned? It's like everything that they're trying to avoid, there's nothing they can do to pretty much avoid it. It's going to happen regardless. Like, that's what I'm thinking that it could possibly go. That, no, like, we've seen all this new stuff, but then things are still going to play out the way it's supposed to play out, and that there's no change in the fate of Aerith, there's no change in the fate of Zack, and everything in that. So that really has me curious. But the opening cinematic showing Shinra carrying out the bodies of Cloud, Barret, and Aerith, and the rest of the party members really had me curious. Like, is that a dream, or is this something that is happening in Zack's timeline? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm really curious. And we did see some glimpse of the old man from Cosmo Canyon talking about the, you know, the live stream, and, you know, how the live stream and the life cycle works when it comes to their planet Gaia. So that's also an interesting thing to see being remade in the remake. And we also got the calm, I guess you would say flashback, or them talking in calm, and we do see Aerith and Tifa discussing the fact is that Tifa is talking to Aerith and telling Aerith that, hey, Cloud wasn't there, which is something that wasn't addressed in the original game at the calm flashback when they were talking at in the hotel of calm. So there is some different taking some different liberties as far as that's concerned. But overall, man, so far I do see familiar story beats. We just want to wait and see how familiar it is, or if there are going to be some massive changes. And I'll save that for a whole entire different video. But we did get a release window. They did say that it's supposed to release early 2024, which I'm all for. I mean, Final Fantasy 16 come out, you know, this year, so I guess you want to give it some time to breathe. And like I said, you know, winter of, you know, it's only 3 months, so it's December to February, so we could actually see it around January or February of 2024, and I'm all for it. I'm waiting to actually see how all this play out. And another surprising thing is the game is 2 discs. Well, I wouldn't say I'm surprised. I mean, if they're trying to finish this game in 3 games, then this game would have to have a lot of content in it, and I'm all for that as well. Like, bring on the content. Final Fantasy VII Remake, in my personal opinion, felt like a tech demo. It felt like a demo because, you know, me being an OG and know how the game plays out, knowing that it ends at Midgar, it just doesn't seem like there's enough there, especially how he's able to take a 2-hour experience and expand it to 40 hours. So going into this game, knowing that it's 2 discs, it really feels like that there's going to be a lot of content in this game, and that's what I want. I want a lot of content. And as I said before, despite me really despising or not really liking the story of the Final Fantasy Remake, I still had an overall exciting experience as far as the gameplay, because they were able to successfully blend in traditional kind of like turn-based, you know, freezing, stop motion, and be able to use your ATB to be able to, you know, cast your spells, give your party members commands. And that's something I'm hoping that they do with the combat, where we get more like a better gambit system, something way better than the gambit system found in Final Fantasy 12, but, you know, we able to have something better in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth to pretty much make your AI party members much more customizable and how they interact with the environments, how they interact in combat and everything. So man, like, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to more news to this. So I definitely want to get your thoughts in the comment sections below. What do you feel and how do you feel about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? Did it gel down some of your concerns going into this as far as combat, maybe story, or anything of that sort? What do you think? How do you feel? Because I definitely want to see where your head is at with this. Are you looking forward to this, or you just say, you know, hell with this game, I'm writing it off? So leave your thoughts in the comment sections below, and also make sure you hit that like button because it definitely helps me out in the algorithm. And that pretty much wrapped this up. This is MugenLord signing off. I'll see you Game Fiends later. Peace out.